Hello everybody. Today I wanted to show you all how this track's going along so far. This is just a Treetone track. It's based off of this Treetone pad that my friend sent me. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick. Right here. Pretty basic. Sounds really cool though. It's just a Treetone pad. It's very dynamic in the sound. There's a lot to work with, but I only used the first part of it for this first part of the track. I'm planning on kind of basing what part of the pad I use depending on where I am in the song. So then later on in the song, I'm going to use the latter end, and the end is actually going to be that impact at the end of the sample. So far I only got up to the first drop, and even though the first drop isn't even done yet, let's go ahead and shut it off for now. So just start off with the Treetone pad itself, and I'll actually just play the whole thing and go into specifics for you in a bit. That is the song so far. I'll go ahead and break it down a little bit, just a quick thing so I can get it over with. And maybe I'll do a full breakdown once the song's actually finished. This is just the basic pad at the beginning with a Haas filter on it. So, or a Haas delay effect. And it adds that's what that drop is. It's no pitch shift or anything like that. It's just turning the Haas up. That's all it is. And then it starts off with this pad right here going through the one rack by oversample. This is on most of the Treetone pad tracks, and it's a godsend, along with some safer box, compressor, and high pass. Whoopsie. And then an auto filter as well for later on. And then this is where the auto filter comes in. And then we have this basic kick and snare from the sample pack I had on Splice that is really, really good. It's the Noisia pack. It's really nice. It has some great kicks and snares for drum and bass. But this is obviously mostly dubstep and kind of trap influences. But it definitely has some drum and bass stuff in there, especially later on when I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I'm gonna plan on having some drum and bass stuff in there. Stuff like that. Anyways, next up I have a phase plant, which is my sub with some erosion and compression. Erosion's adding some white noise at the top, just to make it sound a little more full and a little more distorted. I believe this has, a saturator on it as well. Pretty basic, but sounds pretty cool. This is a distortion, a distorted lead kind of sound that I literally just made really quickly. It's a terrible sound on its own, but with this song it sounds really cool, especially with the transient shapers I have on there. Without them, it has a little too much of a kick to it. You get the idea. Then with the Haas on there as well to make it wider. Pretty basic, but sounds really cool. This hi-hat is just the Treetone pad sound with some noise on it, as well as they're just like chopped down into this little hi-hat pattern. Oh, and some EQ too. Next up are these big saws right here that I have. These are just super saws that I just added in there, just to make the actual impact of this part right here more impactful. Next up is this down here. This is just a synth loop that I found in a sample pack I have. I wish I could tell you where it's from. I'm not 100% sure. Next up is this atmosphere that I just turned into a little pluck. And some filter as well. Then obviously the Treetone pad is a big bass sound, bass synth, whatever you want to call it. With the same sub bass from earlier. It was originally going to be something different, which is why it's on a different track, but I decided to change that. It was going to be originally like a basic rhythm sound, but it went into more so a synth bass kind of sound. You know. And some of that top end is from the bass of the synth, hypersynth super saw. Then I have this is going straight through the pluck sound, the plucks track with a auto filter on it. Pretty basic. Then the top end is from the top end is just from this pitched up Treetone pad. Sounds like shit by itself, but with the low end. Makes it really distorted and really gross, but it has a really cool sound in the actual song. Then this is just some noise to make the impact more impactful for the build up. This is from I believe his name is Hideki Kamiya. I believe that's his name. I always mix up him and Hideki Kojima, which is not him. But he makes he makes music for a lot of different games, especially in Sega. And he made Jet Set Radio, that soundtrack, the soundtrack for Sonic Rush, some great stuff in there. And this is from, I believe, Ollie King. Yeah, right here. So that's a great sample pack to use whenever I'm just trying to get some good vocals in. And that's what I added this in there for, so. And then this is just some basic hi-hat loop I found. I'm planning on adding my own hi-hats later on, but this is just what I have for now. I didn't mention this part. This is just a build up, the same Treetone pad just with a shaper box and a high pass filter. Makes it a little crushed, like bit crushed. Super cool. Anyway, that's the whole song. I hope you all enjoyed. I will definitely get more into the song later on and actually release it later on, but I hope you liked it. See y'all soon.